Occasionally, politicians and political pundits say the quiet part out loud. I often want to say the quiet part out loud, but my executive producer says, no, we fight, and he wins. So when someone else does it, we like to applaud them. That's on point tonight. In this case, it's Dana Loesch, a right-wing commentator who told the truth about Herschel Walker. She admitted what we said yesterday. Hypocrisy doesn't matter anymore. Candidate quality matters very little. Life is tribal now in America. A Herschel Walker victory in Georgia represents Republicans controlling the Senate. Thus, she and most Republicans don't care if he allegedly paid for a girlfriend's abortion.
How many times have I said 4 very important words? These 4 words. Winning is a virtue. And please keep in mind that I am concerned about one thing and one thing only at this point. So I don't care if Herschel Walker paid to abort endangered baby eagles. I want control of the Senate.
Hey guys, welcome to BP the Bible Perspective. What you just heard was what they have always believed. That it was really never about pro-life. It was always about control and power. I want to really dive into this statement because sometimes when they say the quiet parts out loud, I have to pinch myself and say, am I really? Did I just really hear that? But you just heard it yourself. Now before we play the video, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comments section below. Remember, all comments are welcome. Alright guys, look, Dana Loesch is a far right conservative, if you want to call it that. I mean, we're talking guns and everything else. And one of the most interesting things to me is about this, and by the way, it's kind of, I find it amazing because she does come from my hometown of St. Louis, but that being said, and I could go a whole nother direction with that. In other words, it doesn't mean anything. But she did arise as a conservative pundit. And here's my thing about conservative pundits. There is a big question mark as to whether if they really believe all of the stuff that she is peddling. They make a lot of money. There is a huge audience. And maybe they do believe it. Okay. But what you heard there, and this is the interesting thing, what you heard coming out of her mouth, and we're going to get to the news guy as well, is they really don't care that Herschel Walker paid for abortion. We'll get to him later. I'm going to play a longer clip. The point at this, what you've heard, their boldly proclamation is, we don't care if he wins. That's what they care about. A number of years ago, and I'm much older, I became a Christian in late 1978. And I can tell you that because I just automatically thought that the Christian right was right, and that the Christian right was godly and biblical. And I can tell you that over the years I've come to know that there's not. It was always about building a right Christian nation. It was never about the gospel of Jesus. And what we're seeing now more than ever is this flagrant violating, setting aside of what they say they believe. Now understand what she said, and I'm going to play it again in more detail in just a moment. The newscaster as well. We don't care if he paid for abortions, but I thought they were pro-life. And I have been going back and forth on Facebook with several people, right Christians. And one who I consider a dear brother basically said almost parallel to what they're saying here. His thing is basically says, well, if you have, excuse me, if you have, you know, I don't know, I'm trying to think how you put it, you know, instead of 100% saving aborted life, if we can save 90% of them, right? Because the criticism that I launch at them is that how can you say that you're pro-life if, as Republicans do, okay, if as Republicans do, they support abortion in case of rape, incest, and the threat of the life of the mother. See, the hypocrisy there is you are supporting abortion. You just limited it. You're saying that's okay, and that's exactly what this Christian brother said. That okay, well, we saved 90, but we gave up 10%. And I go, well, where does God say the 10% was acceptable? But it is to them. And the reason why it is to them is because it's not about the kingdom of God. And in this case, it's not even about the life of the baby. So Dana Loesch, and we're going to see this guy basically admit, boldly proclaim, we don't care really if he paid for abortions. We don't care that he killed a baby. What we care about is him winning. Let's break down this video.
Occasionally, politicians and political pundits say the quiet part out loud. I often want to say the quiet part out loud, but my executive producer says, no, we fight, and he wins. So
what that simply means is they got sued. Now this, I don't even know this guy's name. I've listened to him before. I forgot his name, but I believe he's either on ONN or Newsmax. And those two cable networks are fiercely fighting and losing the battle, but they're hoping to overthrow Fox News. Fox News remains the top-rated conservative news show. It is also the top-rated network on cable news. Okay, I'm not going to get into why, but their audience is older white people. All right. So there's a great audience out there for white conservatives. So I don't, as I said, I don't even know if they actually believe this. A lot of those Republican / conservative pundits really don't believe. They really don't believe most of what they peddle. But it's a nice audience. When you think about somebody like Candace Owens and Larry Otis, they don't really believe what they peddle. But they do know it's a nice audience, and they make really good money off of it. So this is what he means when he says this right here, is that, hey, I want to say it. Why? Because it gins up his audience. It gets ratings. The problem is that they've gotten sued.
someone else does it, we like to applaud them. That's on point tonight. In this case, it's Dana Loesch, a right-wing commentator who told the truth about Herschel Walker.
Well, I don't know what truth she told, unless he means she spoke the truth of how we feel. See?
She admitted what we said yesterday. Hypocrisy doesn't matter anymore. Candidate quality matters very little. Life is tribal now in America.
Now, when I listened to it, I think I understand finally what he was saying right here. Which is sad that he says virtue doesn't matter. The quality doesn't matter. He says it's tribal. That's kind of interesting in itself. and another conversation that we can have, especially about how racist people think. But the fact that he would mention tribalism, interesting. I thought we were better than tribalism, by the way. I thought we were more superior intellectually. I digress.
A Herschel Walker victory in Georgia represents Republicans controlling the Senate. Thus, she and most Republicans don't care if he allegedly paid for a girlfriend's abortion.
And there it is. He said, this is what we feel. She said it. We applaud it. He only laments that he can't say it on his show. In other words, if someone was to try to come after them legally, he can say, I'm just reporting the news here. But make no mistake what he said. We don't care. So it's not about pro-life. It's not about saving the life of the child. It's about winning. Let's let Dana speak it.
How many times have I said 4 very important words? These 4 words. Winning is a virtue. And please keep in mind that I am concerned about one thing and one thing only at this point. So I don't care if Herschel Walker paid to abort endangered baby eagles. I want control of the Senate.
Okay, so when she says eagles, that was slick talk. Remember, the commentator before her actually said it. They don't care that he paid for abortions. In some respects, now, other than when you talk about all of the hoopla over the Supreme Court and the battle of the Supreme Court, to me, it's a side issue, a diversion. Now, speaking as a Christian, my position is I say we shouldn't have any abortions. But I also say as a Christian, why are you jumping into that battle arena, one in which you cannot win? Secondly, what we should be doing is trying to win people to Christ. Now, I'm not here to talk about the abortion issue, but that's an important point to make. In other words, you have to understand that when the Christian right formed, they had certain political talking points. Back then, well, gay rights and abortion has always been. Believe it or not, back then prayer in school was one of them. Well, they've certainly deleted that one, right? Prayer in school, that's okay, forget that. We can't win that. And they're really not winning the abortion fight either. Because if you stop and think about now, when the Supreme Court, and what they thought was they win because of the conservative majority on the Supreme Court, and immediately they went after certain aspects of the Roe v. Wade. They didn't overturn it, but what they did was they said, we're going to give it back to the states. Okay, so did they win? Was that a win? Now, for Dana Loesch, she probably says, yeah, it was a win. Whether it win for the kingdom of God had no bearing on it at all. Because basically, you had states to where I live at said, open doors, you can have as many abortions as you want. Other states decided, we're going to fight it and begin to put draconian laws. So what did you win? You can just go across the state line and get an abortion. My point is, as Christians, why are we trying to fight that fight when what we should be doing is trying to win people to Christ? Because if you win people to Christ, you will turn their hearts. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to march over abortions. I'm not going to. I mean, and what is even more devilish is the fact that now here's Herschel Walker, who claims to be a Christian, and what I'm not surprised at all, because not only are there many Republicans who are getting abortion. When what you saw was in Kansas a while back after the Supreme Court issued their ruling. Remember, it was Republican Kansas that came out, in this great protest. But this is something, look, let me just tell you something. This is something that people have wrestled with and Christians have been hypocritical about. They just in the closet. Just like the gays were in the closet. Well, Christians, there are a lot of Christians who are in the closet when it comes to abortions. See, they get them too. You don't think that a lot of the so-called big churches and stuff that you see, when you got a person who's in a position, they go out and they fornicate, they get pregnant. Now what? If they get pregnant, they lose their job. They get abortions all the time, but they're in the closet. Now Herschel Walker, now all of a sudden he's supposed to be a Christian. Let's get into it because I'm jumping ahead here, but the point here is the hypocrisy, because Christians, Republicans, see, they want, secretly, they really want the abortion because they want the right to be able to quiet their mistresses' abortions. All right.
There it is. I want control of the Senate, basically at any cost.
So even the cost of your Christian virtue, even the cost of what you stand for as righteous, we don't care. We don't care. We want him to win. He can kill as many babies as he wants, but guess what? We want him to win. Because if he wins, we got power. We got voting powers. We got an example of this. You see, people were upset. If you go back to 2017, people were extremely upset, 2016 rather, when Donald Trump won the presidency. People were shocked. Now, why were they shocked? People didn't think he was going to win. So some people didn't vote. They took their anger, stupidity, out on Hillary. Then when he won, they were shocked. Remember, a week after his inauguration, you had the largest protest against Trump, the largest women protest in the world. It was all over the world. That baffled me. Why are people in France protesting Trump? Okay, but it happened. Show you the fickleness of people. Secondly, and probably what more grave was, just in that 4 years, Trump was able to nominate what? I think it was 3 Supreme Court justices? Maybe 2, okay, but 2 to 3. I think it's 3. And that tipped that. So that is what caused the whole issue of overturning abortion. Okay, as they say, elections have consequences. But what does it really mean for Christians? See, that's the point. What does it really mean for Christians? All right, let's continue.
This isn't about what's right. It's about winning. And this isn't a Republican thing. Think about John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. He recently had a stroke. Of course, we wish him a speedy recovery. But he clearly has some lingering issues from that stroke. Take a listen.
What is wrong with demanding for an easy, safe kind of their income, a path to a safe place for them to win?
Now, okay, here, let me say this. Herschel Walker doesn't claim to have had mental health issues like a stroke. Okay, so I want you to follow that, because he's going to is going to show some of Herschel Walker's favorite clips.
Say what? He wants to be a U.S. Senator, and not a single Democrat cares that he can't put three sentences together. Of course, we wish him a speedy recovery and the like, but the U.S. Senate matters. The people.
Keep in mind what he just said right here. He is saying we wish him a speedy recovery. No, you don't. You really hope he has another one so he can be knocked out of the way because he's a favorite to win. But again, notice the power structure here. That you're gonna completely ignore Herschel Walker. He says he can't put together a sentence. Why? Because of stroke or maybe cognitive issues. But woo, Herschel is mental. Let's continue.
In there matter. Fetterman represents flipping a red seat blue. He can't debate till the end of October when 40% of the vote in Pennsylvania will already be mailed in. Fetterman will use some kind of closed captioning device at the debate. In the past, these would be automatic disqualifiers, much like Herschel Walker's long list of weirdnesses from his past mental health problems to lying about his multiple children by multiple women. And then there are the sound bites, which are, well, equally concerning to Fetterman's.
At one time, science said man came from apes. Did it not? That's when you go to the science.
Every time I read or hear that, I think to myself, you just didn't read the same Bible I did.
Well, this was interesting, though. If that is true, why are there still apes?
Do you know right now I have something that can bring you into a building that will clean you from COVID as you walk through this dry mess?
Since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move.
Hear that now, think about it later. He wants to be a U.S. Senator. It's concerning.
But you just said, right? You just said you don't give a flip about that. Because if he wins, you have a man in your corner. So what is his point? What exactly is his point? It should be disturbing. And I'm going to play one more. Let's see. Let's finish him out here.
And not a single Republican cares he can't put three sentences together. As crash as Dana Loesch can be, she tells the truth.
If the Daily Beast story is true, you're telling me Walker used his money to reportedly pay some skank for an abortion, and Warnock wants to use all of our monies to pay a whole bunch of skanks for abortions.
All right, she's going to get pushback. I'm going to play the pushback for that. But this is interesting to me here. She's calling then everyone who has an abortion skanks. Now, because there are a lot of Republicans, and as I even said before, Christians who have abortions, they're in the closet. And I want to tread kind of lightly here in that my argument is not pro-abortion. My argument is their hypocrisy. That's it. She just said again, they don't care that he paid for abortion, and if he used his own money to pay for skanks. So basically she called all women who have abortion skanks. But the hypocrisy here is that you're not concerned that the one who paid for the skanks is not skanky, that Herschel Walker is not a dirtbag, an evil devil. See, that's the problem here. That it's the skanks, but not Herschel Walker. He's okay, and especially if he wins.
Politics is not pretty, but that's how the right views it. And if someone on the left were honest enough to be that direct even that crass about Fetterman's condition, we would play it too and applaud their honesty. That's on point.
Well, I don't think he would, and I think it is something that is deplorable. I want to play. I'm gonna pull up something here because I want to play. Let's pull this up. So the ladies of The View weighed in on this, okay? And what I want to do is I want to play this little clip here. So my point is not almost Whoopi's reaction is predictable. I more want to focus on Dana Loesch. And by the way, Dana is playing this clip. So this is her show right here that she's responding to The View. All right.
First of all, ma'am, there's a lot of women who find themselves in a position of having to have an abortion. How dare you call them skanks, first of all. And I believe the whole point is that Walker is saying, I believe that this is murder, I believe that, and has paid, supposedly, for women to have abortions. That's the point. If we're gonna have these discussions, please stick to them and not go off calling
Women don't
people
just
names.
find themselves in a position where they need an abortion. They have sex, Whoopi. I read your book. I know how many abortions you've had before they were legal and not illegal, and you can't tell me that a bunch of different times you just didn't find. I just accidentally found myself in this position. It's your body, your choice, right? Welcome back to the program. I'm Dana Loesch, your lovable curmudgeon. I play hardball, and if you don't like it, then you can go find a sissy, because I'm so done. I'm done with this. I'm forthright about things. I deal with this my way, and my way is not everybody's way. But I'll be damned if I sit here and use kitten and sunshine language for women who and celebrate the reckless behavior of women who treat abortion as birth control. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, when you engage in reckless promiscuity, that is skank behavior. You're behaving like a skank. Now, apparently it's bad to point out any bad behavior that anyone engages in. But that doesn't make it any less true. You think that if you think that the word is a negative, it is, because it's being applied to a negative behavior. And it goes for men just as well as women. But I'm going to add this caveat. Because I have seen so often, for so many years, after decades of telling men that they have no rights in this matter, after decades of...
All right, I'm coming out of this here because I'm kind of done with that part. Let me go back here. All right, I just wanted to play that kind of exchange. And again, here's the hypocrisy on Dana Loesch's part. You want to blame the women for getting the abortions, but you don't want to blame Herschel Walker, who is crying out that he is the pro-life candidate, but yet paying to have his abortions. The hypocrisy there is, it's okay for Herschel Walker to do it, and it's even more okay if he's going to benefit us by winning a Senate seat. That's the whole thing right there. And they said that out loud. They said that out loud. And this is why Christians, evangelical Christians, your voices are a joke. That people are not, this is why the numbers are dwelling, because people say, well, why am I following that? More can be said on that. Look, guys, that is my perspective. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to BP the Bible Perspective. Hit that subscribe button. And remember, all comments are welcome. See you next time.